Peace, love, holiness, divine love chosen. Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be part 2. We're going to get right into the tarot and see what needs to be illuminated about this energy. So put your hood on and lay down. Clarify this energy. Hi. Okay, we got the Sun card and the Five of Coins energy. Okay, I feel like there could be past energies, karmic past family, karmic past energies that you have had to walk away from, that you are learning lessons about, right? With Oshun at the bottom of the deck now, with this fearless love energy, I feel like you are in this energy where you're still open, right? You can acknowledge your traumas, you can acknowledge the betrayals, you can recognize the pattern and break the pattern, basically, right? Learning the lessons from what you done been through in your past and making the effort to show up in a different way, right? And to show up with new people in your life and with boundaries, right? Respecting yourself and enough to maintain those boundaries and to set those boundaries so that these past patterns don't repeat, right? Without wanting to control, right? You're not in this energy of power tripping over people and being in this egomaniac energy, but you can recognize the patterns from what you done been through and those karmic family members from your past that wasn't on that type of time already. Okay, so yeah, you've had to walk away and learn the lesson from these wicked family members on that type of timing, and you ain't going for none of that, right? You ain't going for none of that energy, but it's being illuminated too as confirmation that your intuition is on point, that can't nobody play you or try to act like, or be in your face in denial, trying to act like what they done try to put you through ain't what you experience, right? Trying to act like your reality ain't really your reality, right? Trying to confuse you and play on your emotions, play on your heart space and the love and the grace that you've extended for them and given them, right? Trying to act like it ain't really happened so that you can continue to overextend yourself. No, you're not on that type of timing. No, you see right through it, and it's being illuminated over again, right? You know, and that's how trauma is. It's always going to be, illuminated. How you respond to it, how you deal with it, how you reflect on it, how you accept it is what makes the flow, that the ebbs and the flows, that much more peaceful and at ease. That's okay, baby. The flowers is falling. Okay. We got King of Cups energy and High Priestess energy. Seek understanding and instead of hatred, and you'll find it in love. Okay, King of Cups energy, you could be guided to, honoring your feminine energy in a different way. Okay, King of Cups energy is all, be out of balance when you are more rooted in the material, when you are more rooted in what you call it, being like money hungry, right? Because King of Cups thrives and emotional stability, emotional vulnerability, um, emotional accountability. Yeah. Wounded feminine, I feel like you exude from this energy of Ace of Cups. Yes, you have some emotional work to do with the Page of Cups energy here. You are guided to continue on with your open communication and healing your emotional wounds, right? And learning the lessons, right? So that you can grow, you can bloom. But you are exuding from this energy of Ace of Cups, always, regardless, right? I think a lot of the times, and this could be true for the King of Cups, the High Priestess, and the Sun card as well. A lot of times, you know, on this healing journey, we forget that because we went through so much trauma, yes, those wounds are really real. Those traumas are really real. And no matter how much healing you do, no matter how much preventative measures, no matter how much, you know, karmic erasure and, you know, trying to erase the wickedness and, you know, healing so much that you're in denial of, you know, the low vibrations or the karmic shit that is, you know, is really real about life. No matter how much you avoid the karmic energy and to the point where you become in denial of it, it's always there, right? So I think the most important part is to remember that it is meant to be accepted, nurtured, understood, and so that you can be at peace with what is illuminated and what you've been through and where you come from as well, instead of pretending like it ain't there because you done did all this extensive hard work to erase it from your life or erase it from your body or erase it from you know, your overall experience. It's always a balance. You always got to keep and maintain that balance with acceptance to yourself, right? Acceptance to who you were that made you who you are, and who you are that's turning you, you know, to who you're becoming, right? Who you are that's making you who you want to become, basically, or that's preparing you towards who you want to become. We got the Moon card. It's like it could be somebody in the energy over here, karmic past family members that, you know, want to try to stay hidden or cloaked in the energy, but they not. You know, who want to try to power trip or stay in denial, or, you know, denial is a form of power tripping as well. But they not. They seen clearly. It's illuminated, moving along. And then you got somebody over here who's watching you and in the energy of wanting to delay your new beginnings, or they could be in the energy of delaying themselves and in their new beginnings, or living in the energy of fear, right, instead of faith over fear. When I see the Fool card in reverse, I really pick up on like fearful frequencies, fearful energies and stuff like that, because, you know, the Fool card is all about new beginnings and taking risk and being free and being in this innocence energy and being in this childlike energy, and receiving your abundance, because you are so free and you are so fearless, right, with the fearless love of Oshun at the bottom of the deck. And it's like over here, I'm picking up also divine feminine energy, wounded feminine energy healing, divine feminine healing their wounds as well. You are in this energy of you're not going to allow anybody to dictate your purpose, right? You're not going to allow anybody to be on that type of timing with you and suppress your purpose, suppress your heart, suppress you emotionally, right? So just because, you know, one person is unwilling to face their wounds and their mask and their ego, baby, be careful, okay? It's okay. Let me see, mama, because you got your lip too. Look it. It got your lip bleeding. Please be careful. You hit your nose too? Oh, baby. Come on. Let me give you a kiss. It's okay, mama. Okay? But yeah, divine feminine, you're in this energy where you are being guided to, you know, fearlessly and honor your emotions. With the Ace of Cups and the Page of Cups, honor your emotions, right? And to, whatchamacallit, face all your wounds, regardless of how it makes people feel. Face your wounds, regardless if people are, you know, willing to face their own or not. That's my brave girl. You gonna lay like that? Even if it hits you again? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, especially with the past, right? We got the Six of Cups and the Six of Swords at the bottom of the deck, right? You're not ashamed of your wounds. You're not ashamed of what you done been through in the past, because your ancestors is guiding you through the entirety of it. So you're not ashamed of, you know, these people surrounding you from the past. Hi, I'm good. How are you? All right. All right. Come on, let's get some emotional messages. And then it's getting windy out here. We going inside to finish the rest of these messages on some real. I gotta cook, make some rice and beans. All right, let's see. Overall emotional energy for my divine love chosen at this time. We got perplexity. The answers will eventually reveal themselves. It reminds you not to rush for answers, but to give yourself time and space to understand. We got anger and jealousy, right? Somebody could be angry or jealous at your anointing, right? At your calling. You just being you just being yourself. Yeah, and your wisdom, your divine wisdom. That's the thing, right? And yeah, with shame at the bottom of the deck, it's like you're not ashamed, divine love chosen. You're not ashamed. And you know, that's a long, you know, that's what I'm really picking up is, you know, toxic masculine energy, jealous and angry or envious about your wisdom, your sacred wisdom, divine feminine sacred wisdom. Right? Ain't that why, you know, this whole world and the this patriarchal society started in the first place? Not this whole world, but what I mean is like the frequencies of the patriarchy, because men realized that they weren't as spiritually, they weren't, you know, made to be as spiritually powerful as women, right? They couldn't accept the powers that they were blessed with, and they felt like, you know, they wanted to possess the powers of the sacred powers and sacred gifts of the women. Men are supposed to be our spirit guides of this earthly realm. Women are supposed to be the spirit. Men are supposed to be the earthly realm guides, right? To guide us through this earthly realm, the spirit guides. And ain't that's how it started? So for my wounded masculines, you know, my divine masculines that are wounded, reflect on that, heal that, because that's real life frustrating. You angry and you jealous at your woman for being wise, for being knowing, all knowing, having sacred wisdom from the ancestors, from the Most High. Why? Because you're rooted in egomania. You're rooted in trying to control. You're rooted, regardless of how healed you think you are and how much work and how much study you think you've done, you're rooted in that egomania. That's the sad part. Okay? You mad at women for being themselves. From doing God's work that they're meant to do and be, just by existing, right? That's where that denial of your sexuality come in, huh? Just on some real, like, this energy, that energy is frustrating as fuck. Real life frustrating. And then be mad at women for how your emotional confusion, for how your emotional denial or your emotional resistance shifts their energy naturally. Y'all want to imbalance so bad. Y'all want the women to be the men, and y'all want to be the women. And they want to be the women. Like, it's okay to be free and open in your sexuality and fluid in your sexuality, but be real. I hope that helps. Hope it resonates. If it do, be sure to like the video, comment, and subscribe. If you need to find me anywhere, everything is in my description. Fulfill the prophecy and follow me. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.